Alright guys, our next subunit is 1.2 of unit 1 is the reasons for code of ethics, code of ethical conduct. Why do we need to have the codes of ethics? Code of ethics actually guides the behavior of internal auditors. So why do we need to have the code of ethics? The first very good reason is to promote ethical culture among professionals. Professional CIAs should behave ethically, professionally. Their personality must be viewed as a symbol embodiment of a ethical professional. So ethical culture and ethics almost is a part of every professional accountancy body, like CA, ACCA, CMA. Ethics is a part of professional qualification. So in order to promote ethical culture, CIAs and the members of Institute of Internal Auditors and internal auditors generally, whether they are CIAs or not, they must behave ethically. So the second reason is to communicate acceptable values, how the members should behave and the standard behavior expected from them. So IMA has written code of ethics that I believe you should memorize. The code of ethical conduct you should memorize. I will let you know from where you should memorize, because once you have it in your head all the time, so you will know when the question comes that which ethical domain is being violated, confidentiality, etc., etc. So you'll have a fuller understanding. Once you get the complete understanding what a question comes, you will know that if it is impinging upon integrity of the internal auditor, objectivity, which situation is affecting the confidentiality standard of ethic, and which is competency. So it is very crucial that you learn them and memorize them, so that when the situation comes and you're required to give the correct opinion and the correct options, so you should know exactly what it means. So it basically establishes standard of performance. It's a standard of measure as well, to what extent we have been able to behave ethically. And since internal auditors are viewed as ethical professionals, so if they are following code of ethical in its true sense, then it is communicating to the organization's values to the outsider as well. I mean, it communicates organization's values to the outsider. So one very important aspect, that if you have a written code of ethical conduct, it does not mean that employees will behave ethically, because mere existence, if there is a code of ethics already in place, it doesn't mean that people will follow. It has to be implemented and enforced. So mere existence of code of ethics is not enough, because code can establish only minimum standard you need to achieve. So what it is should be expected from the professional internal auditors, that they should follow the code of ethical conduct and they should behave ethically. So it's not just simply setting a minimum standard for the internal auditors. There should be some stringent punishment for the professionals who violate this code of ethical conduct. There must be some repercussions. So simply existence of code is not enough. If you violate that code, there must be disciplinary action against the violator. So that will provide a fair basis that will enforce the internal auditors to behave ethically. So let us consider the components of internal audit. There are 4 elements that are core to the principle of internal audit code of ethics. Code of ethics should contain at least the following, and the following 4 elements are the core principles of Institute of Internal Audit Code of Ethics. First is integrity. You need to memorize this right from here. This is the point where you should start memorizing. Integrity. What does it mean? Integrity means completeness, salmiyat, khud mukhtari. Inkar kar den, refuse to compromise your professional values for personal gains. If there is a personal gain, but that personal gain is compromising your professional values, refuse straight away. That is integrity. You need to memorize this, learn this, and then perform your duties in accordance with relevant laws. If you have memorized these 2 lines, so whenever the question comes, you will know which situation falls under which principles or which elements of the code of ethical conduct. So that's why I recommend memorize this. So integrity means behaving professionally and not letting personal gains to compromise your professional values, and perform your work relevant to the law. Next element is objectivity. Objectivity means that you should be bamaqsad and objective in giving your opinions and information. Means it's a commitment to provide unbiased information to the stakeholders. Unbiased means किसी तासुब के बगैर, without any side takings. Fair information to the stakeholders. And if there is a conflict of interest, means your own economic benefit or personal interest, forget about it. Remain independent. So commitment to remain independent from conflict of economic and personal interests. That's very crucial. Next two elements are confidentiality and competence. Let us read about them in detail. The code of ethics should contain at least the following. The next third is confidentiality. Means you will not disclose the secret information to the third parties or for private gains. You have to be confidential. Information confidentiality must be respected. And the fourth component is competence. Competence means commitment to acquire. I'm sure you people remember, I'm a CIA member, CMA as well as CCA, so, and I have to follow certain CP requirements every year to keep myself updated. If I do not do that, they will cancel my CIA or CMA. So in order to remain competent, you have to update your knowledge, your skills level. So this is competency. So every professional accountancy body has this requirement that is called continued professional education. So competency means commitment to acquire and maintain appropriate level of knowledge and skill. That is only possible if you're regularly updating your knowledge base. So we've got the idea. These are the four core elements of the code of ethical conduct. You need to memorize them in detail. That is very crucial. Let us go in detail further. I think it ends your unit 1.2. This is the overall view of the ethical conduct code. We will read about that in detail in your next unit 1.3.